welcome to Roanoke County Today. I'm Teresa Hall, Roanoke County's Public Information Director. Thanks for joining us. Just ahead on the program, one of Roanoke County's most recognized employees is preparing to retire. We'll talk with Assistant Chief Donna Faro about her career with the county and plans for the future. And the Blue Ridge Parkway just celebrated its 75th anniversary with a number of special events. We'll check in with Parkway officials to see if this important milestone accomplished everything they had hoped for. Hope you'll stay with us. For this segment of our program, we're focusing on Green Ridge Recreation Center. The facility recently received statewide recognition from two separate organizations. I'm joined by Jill Luke with Economic Development and Pete Hayslip with Roanoke County's Parks, Recreation, and Tourism Department to talk about these awards. Jill, let's go ahead and start with you. Your submission received an Achievement Award from the Virginia Association of Counties, otherwise known as VACO, and I believe it centered on the economic development component tied to this facility, correct?
Yes, we submitted the Green Ridge Center for the 2010 VACO Achievement Award in the Community and Economic Development category because we felt like this facility was a perfect fit. The category in particular was geared towards innovation and creativity, and this particular facility is definitely an innovative project designed to serve as a catalyst for economic development here in the North County area, not only because of its strategic location on 81 and 581, also because a number of high-profile corporations in Roanoke are currently using this facility, and also serves as a catalyst to start this business park here in the county.
The business park would be located nearby, sort of around the facility or near the facility.
Yes, yes.
I know that a representative from VACO actually traveled down from Richmond to present the award before the Board of Supervisors. Was this an exciting opportunity for you and your department?
Oh, sure. It's always exciting when you're a winner amongst your peer group, and there were 60 entries statewide and local government competition, and we were one of 14 winners across the state. So we were just very proud of this achievement and felt like that it was a good opportunity to promote Roanoke County as well.
I agree. And Pete, your department has also received some great statewide recognition for their work with this facility too. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we recently had the opportunity to go down to Hampton, Virginia and participate in Virginia Recreation Park Society's annual conference. And we were fortunate, we won 6 awards at the conference, but 3 were centered around the Green Ridge Recreation Facility. We won for the best new facility in the state of Virginia, and like Jill's program, it's a very competitive process where you really go up against communities your size throughout the state of Virginia. So we are very proud and pleased to have won that Best New Facility Award. We also won 2 marketing awards. One was for our membership brochure and folder, and also for our television campaign when we were promoting our grand opening of the Green Ridge Recreation Center. And one thing we're really excited about is the membership folder was designed by an intern we had, Chris Runyon from James Madison's Media Arts program.
Fantastic.
And he had a big hand in developing that folder, and so we're really proud of Chris. He's graduated now and up looking for a job, but we're really excited for him, but also certainly excited about the attention that Green Ridge Recreation Center has really in all different areas, economic development, recreation. We got people from really all over the state and the country coming to look at this facility. We're excited about it.
Right, and if you consider that the facility hasn't even been open a year now, and all of the people that are utilizing it, it's really exciting time.
Yes, we again, we're proud of it, and we're so excited that the community here in North Roanoke and really all over the valley has really embraced it. A lot of the corporations that Jill talked about we have a lot of corporate memberships, and it's really definitely a place that people want to be.
Well, seeing both of you here, it has been, as far as going back to the planning stages and the marketing and everything else that's been involved, it's really a team effort among all of Roanoke County staff.
Right.
It is.
Right.
Yeah, we consider this an economic development recruitment tool and marketing tool for Roanoke County, and it has been.
And we've got good staff and creative staff too.
Very, Scott Scott Ramsberg, our marketing manager, has done a super job. You know, he does all our work, and he's just so talented and so creative, and
right.
we couldn't be as successful without Scott's work. So.
Well, I think the example is just in the numbers. I mean, obviously his message getting out to the citizens and folks of the Valley has
right.
worked. I mean, otherwise you wouldn't have all these people.
Oh yeah, we're 7,000 members, and of course, you know, that doesn't count the daily admissions. You know, people don't have to be a member to use it. You know, they can pay that daily admission or come participate in the program. So it's really affordable and accessible to everybody in the community, and we're certainly glad that, you know, Jill and the economic development folks can really use it to really show what a quality of life that Roanoke County has to offer. Not only the folks in the Valley, but even outside the Valley.
Right, because the statewide recognition is fantastic. Well, I want to offer my congratulations to both of you. And if you'd like more information about Green Ridge Recreation Facility, your website?
Yes, RoanokeCountyParks.com, and just go to Green Ridge.
All right, Jill, Pete, thank you so much, and again, congratulations.
Thank you.
And stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
Mrs. Lawson.
I still don't have it all.
I can't keep coming back like this. I need the rent.
I know, it's just that I have 3 kids.
I'm Jennifer Conley Sexton, the Volunteer and Marketing Coordinator with Roanoke County Fire and Rescue Department. Along with me is Brian Klingenpeel to talk about Fire Prevention Month. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you, Jennifer. Glad to be here.
October is Fire Prevention Month in Roanoke County, and I know you have a safety message. What is this year's?
This year is smoke alarms, a sound you can live with. So we're really talking about smoke alarms and how important they are. Having a working smoke alarm in your home doubles the chance that you're going to get out of a fire alive. And so we really want people to make sure that they're working. We've done a really good job in the fire service of making sure that now about 96% of American households have smoke alarms. That's wonderful. The problem is, out of that 96% is only about 40% of those work. So we really got to do a better job of testing them and making sure that they work.
Okay. Over the years, I've heard different theories about where I should place smoke alarms in my home. What's the latest research on this?
The recommended and the code standards for new builds, new housing starts, those kinds of things, is to have one on each level of the house. So if you have a multi-level house, you should have at least one on every level. You should also have one inside of each bedroom and outside of each sleeping area as well. A lot of people think that you need to put one in the kitchen. Kitchen's just not a real good place to put a smoke alarm because you're going to get lots of nuisance alarms.
Yes, I've had that happen.
Yes.
You burn something,
I'm sure we all have, yes.
Okay. Lately, I've been hearing about interconnected smoke alarms. Now, is this the hardwired alarms that we see in new construction homes?
Yes. However, they do have some new technology that makes that possible for existing homes as well. Most of the new homes that are built with hardwired smoke alarms that are kind of wired into your house are interconnected, so that when one sounds, they all sound all over the house. And that's especially useful for larger homes where you might not hear it if you were in another part of the house, so they all sound. But now they make some technology that's wireless. Kind of works off the same technology as like a garage door opener and a garage door. And so you can install those yourself. You don't need an electrician. You can go and get those, and it's a wireless interconnected smoke alarms, and they work beautiful.
Okay. Once I get the smoke alarms and put them in all the right locations in my home, how do I make sure they're in good working order throughout the year?
We really want you to test them once a month, and testing them is really simple. Most of them have a button that's right on the front that you can press, and I do have a lot of people, especially our elderly citizens, who say, well, I can't reach it. We've got an example here today.
And you're going to show me?
I'm going to show you. So this one I can't reach either from just standing on the ground. So if you use a broom handle, it's real easy to reach up there to that button and press it and hold it. And they sound all throughout the house when we do that. And that's what we would like for you to do once a month.
Okay. Now, I think I'll just ask a question. I hear them chirping every once in a while. What does that mean?
If you hear a chirp, most smoke alarms, if they chirp once every 60 seconds or so, then that's telling us that the batteries are not working and the batteries need to be replaced. The smoke alarms in this home are hardwired, but they do have a battery backup.
Okay.
So if the batteries go bad, they are still going to chirp, and that's still a signal that we need to replace those batteries.
About once a year, should we do that anyway?
That's right. We recommend replacing the batteries once a year anyway.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Brian. This is really, the bottom line is, smoke alarms save lives.
Absolutely they do.
We've seen the research across the country. We've even seen it here in Roanoke County.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks so much for this important information. But if
You're
people
welcome.
want more, where can they go?
They can go to our website at www.roanokecountyva.gov/fire rescue.
Thank you, Brian, for this life-saving information. Stay put. Roanoke County Today. We'll be right back.
If you're not helping after-school programs, you're really helping to take them away.
That wasn't very nice.
After-school programs, wouldn't you rather be helping?
Welcome back to Roanoke County Today. It's October and you know what that means. Time for the trees to start dropping those leaves. I'm joined by Nancy DeVal, Roanoke County Solid Waste Manager, to talk a little bit about what Roanoke County's policy is regarding leaf collection. Nancy, thanks for taking the time to talk with us. I think probably the best place to start would be to talk about the fact that Roanoke County does not vacuum leaves like some localities do.
No, we have not vacuumed leaves for many years. We provide the bag leaf collection.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what is the policy for Roanoke County?
We provide bag leaf collection. We'll pick up any number of bags that you put out. In the past, we have provided on a weekly basis for a 6-week period starting in November. This year, we're changing that a little bit, and we're going to be coming by every other week, just like we do with bulk and brush. So if you have bulk material, you can set out your bag leaves as well, and we'll pick it up every other week. We'll pick up any number of bags that you put out.
Okay, do the bags need to be particular bags? Do they need to be black, or does it not matter?
It does not matter. We'll pick up whatever you put out, any color, shape, size, or form. I say size. It needs to be less than 50 pounds.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah.
For the folks to lift.
Right.
And you prefer that they be bagged versus putting them over into your garbage can?
Right, right. Yeah, we much prefer them to be bagged. Actually, for us to pick them up, they have to be bagged. We can't pick up loose leaves. If they're in your can and we empty your can, I mean, they'll certainly, part of them will go in the truck and part of them will just be blown away.
Well, it's
so
the
it defeats
danger
the
this
purpose.
time of year. I mean, you can see the trees are
Right.
blowing behind us, so people need to be mindful of their neighbors' neighborhood too,
Right.
and put them in the bags. As far as this time of year, again, it was said it's October, next month, November, and hard to believe Thanksgiving. Talk a little bit about what the policy is for the county picking up garbage during these holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Our Thanksgiving collection is the same that it's been for many years now. We collect all 4 days worth of routes in 3 days. So Monday and Tuesday routes will be collected on Monday of Thanksgiving week. Wednesday routes will be collected on Tuesday, and Thursday routes will be collected on Wednesday. This allows us to get done before the holiday and allows our crews to have off the holiday time as well.
All right, that's a lot of information for people who are listening at home. You have it on the website
Yes,
with the
we do.
policy? Okay, and what about Christmas? Any changes there?
No. Luckily for us this year, Christmas and New Year's, there'll be no change in garbage collection whatsoever. It'll be normal for both weeks.
You still going to offer the service picking up the Christmas trees?
Yes. That'll be the first week in January after the holiday, and we pick up the Christmas trees separately so we can recycle those.
Okay, and let's go ahead and recap then. Since there is a change in the policy, you're only going to pick up the leaves as you would with regular bulk and brush collection for homeowners.
That's correct. Every other week, just on your bulk pickup. All that information will be on the website with your schedule and all that.
All right, Nancy, thank you very much for that information. Appreciate talking to you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
I can cause sudden headaches, dizziness, trouble walking, talking, seeing. What am I? I am a stroke. Learn to recognize a stroke.
Welcome back. I'm Dan O'Donnell, Assistant County Administrator, and I'm here with Donna Faro, who is the retiring Assistant Chief of Police. We're here to congratulate her on her career and
Thank you.
Talk a little bit about her career with her today. So congratulations, Donna. You've been with the county for a long time and done a lot of things, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Tell us about yourself and your current position as Assistant Chief of Police.
Well, I've been in that position 7.5 years, I guess, and I supervise the operations side of the police department, which includes most of the law enforcement end of it, the uniformed police officers that respond on the calls, and the criminal investigations division and vice units that do the investigation stuff.
That sounds like a lot of activity. About how many direct reports do you have that report to you?
Well, my direct reports would be the lieutenants. So I have the daylight, evening, and midnight shift lieutenants for the uniform division. A lieutenant over special operations, which includes the animal control unit, the CSOs, the school resource officers, the traffic division. And then I have criminal investigations division and vice. Each have a supervisor that manages them. So
it's a lot of activity and a lot of people to work with.
Yes, it is.
So how long have you been with the police department? You said 7.5 years in your current position, but how long have you been with the department?
Well, with the county, because when I started we were a sheriff's office, 27 years altogether. I started as a dispatcher when we were located in the old courthouse there in front of Roanoke College. Worked in the basement. Back then, 2 or 3 dispatchers to a shift, and on a good day, maybe 2 officers on each side of town to make 4. And things have changed a lot and grown a lot since then. We moved, while I was still in dispatch, we moved to Southview, to that building, and I worked as a dispatcher in that building maybe a year or so before I went out and went through the academy and went out on the road to be a police officer.
So you came to the department as a dispatcher?
Came as a dispatcher.
And at that point it was the sheriff's department?
We were sheriff's department then.
So way back when, what made you decide you wanted to get into public safety career?
I finished up my career at Roanoke College in '81, and I was studying sociology and social work. And my last year there, I took 2 criminal justice classes, an intro and a juvenile criminal justice class as extras, and loved what I did and started to have second thoughts about whether or not I could work in that arena. And what happened was I had applied for a job with Youth and Family Services with the Sheriff's Office and had gotten a phone call saying that they didn't have any positions open at the time, but if I was interested, they had some dispatcher openings, and if I would be willing to start there, I could work there for a couple of years and I would be eligible to test to be a police officer and then at some point go into the Youth and Family Services. Well, so I took that. It was a job and it was public safety. It was kind of in the right area, and I thought no problem, and I got into dispatch. I actually loved that job more than I anticipated. And so when the 2 years was up, I really wasn't interested. I stayed where I was and did what I did, and after about 5 years I decided I was kind of ready to try new things and move up. And by then the law enforcement end had evolved. There was a DARE program. Youth and Family Services had changed. Things had changed. So I went through the police academy and went out on the street, and then loved that even more than I think I did in dispatch. And so then I wasn't in any hurry to move there, and after several years of being a street officer, I kind of decided that was where I wanted my career to be, and that's where I wanted to move up at, as opposed to the specializing, and that was just a choice I made as time went. So
you actually, you started as a dispatcher, made it all the way up to assistant chief. That's incredible. It's a great career.
It's been a great career.
For all your hard work. And you talked a little bit about the changes in the department. What do you think the major changes you've seen over 27 years are?
I think the biggest changes I see in law enforcement in general are the types of crimes that we're looking at now, and just the way the direction police work has gone, and in the training. you know, we talked about when I started in dispatch, you know, 2 officers on each side of town, and we were reactive. We got a call or an emergency and we handled it, and that was all we could do. As times have changed, law enforcement has moved in the direction of being more proactive and trying to beat it before the crimes occur, as opposed to catching them after they've already started. So I think the direction we've gone, technology has changed not only law enforcement but the criminal element as well. So in the years when we spent time, you know, you used to watch TV 10, 15 years ago where the police officers were hiding in the bushes waiting for bad guys to break into buildings. Now we're spending a lot of time browsing on the computers to see you know, credit card fraud and things like that. It's just a different kind of crime. And then, of course, the training that's involved is just completely different now as well. When I went through the police academy, when I first went out on the road in '88, it was a 10-week program. And now in 2010, it's a 22-week program. And there is so much more technical training involved in what law enforcement does. It's more than just run down the bad guy running away from the burglary. Now there's so much involved in evidence collection and so many more technical aspects of the job, and I see that as a major change.
So there's, what challenges do you see facing, I think you've touched on a lot of it, facing law enforcement in the future? Is it the technology, or is it just the sophistication of the people?
I think that is going to be a big challenge. I think that law enforcement now is a much more highly skilled profession than maybe it was thought of back when I first started, and so I think that's going to be a big deal. I think the economy being what it is right now, and the budget challenges are going to have a very large effect on being able to get the training and the technology that's needed to really do the job as well as we would like to do it.
So you've had a great career, 27 plus years. So what are your retirement plans? What are you going to do with all your free time?
Well, the perfect case scenario for me is to be able to work part-time, so that I'll have more time for some other activities and things I like to do, and more time for family and friends. I'm on the substitute teaching list for the county, so my game plan for right now, starting in January, would be to do some substituting and see how I enjoy that. I love kids, and I think that would be a good fit for me, and so I want to try that for a little while, and that will give me more free time for the things that I want to do.
Great. I just want to thank you for all you've done for the county. You've done a terrific job, and I've worked fairly closely with you over the last few years, and just very impressed by all you've accomplished. And the department is a great department, and we're going to miss you. And we just wish you all the best, and thank you for your service.
I appreciate that, and thank you. It's been a great career.
You promised me the world. Is this what you had in mind?
Every choice we make has a consequence. Help EarthShare and its members restore balance to the world. Visit earthshare.org and see what you can do. EarthShare, one environment, one simple way to care for it.
We're just at the entrance to Virginia's Explore Park along the Blue Ridge Parkway, which just celebrated its 75th anniversary. I'm joined by Peter Gibbs, a park ranger with the National Park Service, to talk a little bit more about this very important milestone. Peter, thank you for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you. About
the Blue Ridge Parkway. You know, you had that gigantic celebration along the Virginia-North Carolina border in September. Was that everything that you had hoped for?
Well, I think that it was. The crowds were good. We had a little struggle with the weather in the middle of the weekend there, but you know, I looked at that event and I saw the past Parkway employees. I saw important people in our region, from local officials to 5 members of the United States Congress were there. Both state governors were there, and I think everyone understood and communicated that day that the Parkway is such an important part of who we are in this region.
It's a tremendous asset.
It really is.
You know, a couple of days prior to that September 75th anniversary, there was a kickoff celebration of sorts here locally. We had Roanoke City, Roanoke County, and town of Vinton officials there to express their support for the Blue Ridge Parkway. What was your hope by having that media event, that kickoff?
Well, you know, that was a reflection because it was not just a statement. They were actually written resolutions commemorating the Parkway. And so when I looked at that and I thought about those three communities, and of course there are scores of communities like this along the Parkway, and part of what we really hoped was that these communities would embrace the Parkway even more than they've already done in the past, and use it for their own economic benefit and understand the treasure that it is. So that was, to me, an example of that happening right here in the valley.
It was. And I know, Peter, you had hoped to get that support from North Carolina up through Virginia. How many localities in all did you hope to reach out to and have celebrations to mark the 75th anniversary?
Well, the Parkway goes through 29 counties in the two states. So that's probably, twice that many communities. Even more than that embrace the Parkway or look at themselves as Parkway communities. And so we had hundreds of events happening. Some of those communities had multiple events, all of them sort of showcasing what they have to offer to the traveling public and to people interested in our region, and identifying themselves as Parkway neighbors and Parkway communities.
With all those events, you had to have raised that awareness level, which I know was one of your objectives.
That was one of the objectives. You know, the Parkway is a road unlike any other.
True.
It showcases the tremendous cultural and natural history of our region. It protects rare and endangered species, and it gives millions of visitors every year that memorable experience. And I just feel like everyone understood that this year and was really able to highlight that.
Well, I think just talking a little bit more about the event we had here in early September to kick off the grand celebration, you heard personal stories about what the Parkway meant to many of the speakers who were at that event, and they were just fantastic stories, and stories that were told from people of all ages.
Exactly, and during the anniversary weekend, I mean, I talked to those people. I talked to people who had been in the Civilian Conservation Corps camps on the Parkway, people who lived adjacent to the scenic, as they called it, as it was being built, and even the governors of both states talked about personal memories of visiting in the mountains, traveling on the Parkway. So even from the top all the way down to our neighbors, everyone was remembering those good times in the Parkway.
I think there was a lot of passionate speakers throughout this whole two-year process of raising awareness. Well, what do you want people, as we wrap up, bring this segment to a close, what would you like to say to people here at the end as we draw to a close with the 75th anniversary?
Yeah. You know, we talked a lot this year about the sustaining the momentum, about the Parkway, the sustainability of this resource to our region. We talked a lot about partnerships, and we talked a lot about stewardship. So we would like to think that in the those who are the generations who can help us now and the generations to come, even the children we were trying to reach out to, that we can get that idea of stewardship of the Parkway throughout the entire region. So that's probably our biggest hope, that would continue and that momentum of this year would move to generations to come.
All right, Peter, some great final words. Thank you so much, and congratulations on a wonderful celebration.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Over here. Did you know that the first person to fly faster than the speed of sound was Chuck Yeager back in 1947? No. I didn't think so.
It's fun to know history. Find curious facts from America's past at loc.gov, the Library of Congress website.
That's all for this edition of Roanoke County Today. Remember, for more information on Roanoke County events and programming, visit our website at roanokecountyva.gov. Hope to see you again next month.